You know, when I was a kid, my dad would always say, we need to get my mom and dad on tape, on a tape recorder, and record their words and what they have to say, and so we'd always know exactly how the old ways were. You know, how they did things back when mom and dad were growing up in the shit. They would have been growing up in what, the 1910s. My grandpa was born in 1894. So they'd been growing up in the teens anyway. He fought in World War I. He was in the infantry like I was, like my dad was, but my dad was in the Marine Corps infantry. But they never got around to recording anything, just memory-wise and everything. You know, my dad was a professional baseball player. No shit. He's a Marine. He's a professional baseball player. He was right at the edge of the time they started putting shit on TV, and you know, shit was on the radio. So Dad did not have any baseball cards, or you know, he didn't have any videotape or anything like that at the time he played, and so there's no memories like that. And so we look around, and all the tape recording we got is my good friend and brother Mike Lyons, an attorney. We had a big coal case, the largest coal litigation ever filed in the United States, ever. Dad got cheated out of $1.2 billion by a coal company, and he died thinking we'd won the case. They won it on a technicality, and we drew the most corrupt judge, one of the 3 most corrupt judges in America on that case, and that was according to Reader's Digest. So didn't get no share of that 1.2 billion, me or my sister, and so, you know, all that we had of Dad recorded ended up was his dying deposition for that trial that Mike had recorded with him, and Dad had been an expert witness in the appraisal business for 40 years, and man, he really gave a good performance there for his last performance, I have to say. He was very thoughtful, very introspective, very much on his game, and Dad was white-headed. He had snow white hair, and other appraisers, they say, Dixon Nunnery, a guy that Dad worked with, and he was an appraiser on the opposite side of Dad for many years, but he came into the real estate business under Dad, actually, back in the early 1970s. And Dixon would always say, Dad, the case was over. Here comes Joe Weddington. He comes in here with that white hair and that deep booming voice, and you know, it's just like God decreed something. The property's worth this because I say so. And he said, that's it, case over. You might as well go to the house, boys. And Dixon making a little light of it, but that's pretty much how it was. I've seen Dad go in and settle many a case that lawyers couldn't. Hundreds of thousands of dollars, millions of dollars on the table. Dad go in and settle a case for people, and they paid him good for that. And so Dad made a good living. He's in the coal business with Clifford Bevins, and them boys, God dog, they got close. They got close to the big time. They could see the big time from where they was at, and they just had some bad luck, and they had some bad, shitty people they were dealing with. But I tell you what, Dad and Clifford, they, just for a minute there in the 70s, maybe early 80s, they lived large. They lived the dream, boys. I'm here to tell you, Cadillacs, like nobody's business. We'd take Cadillac limousines to the UK ball games, and Clifford would drive, and he would drive the shit out of them cars. They belonged to Kilburn and Cormany over at the Campbell House. Clifford would get in there, and you know how well, no, you don't, because you people watching this damn thing never been to a drive-in, but they humps at a drive-in where the cars would park up on a hump, and then there'd be a street in between, and then there'd be another hump. we went through there one day, and we had my Uncle Herb in the back, and he's well dressed and clean cut, gray-headed fella, and he looked just like Kentucky's governor at the time, John Y. Brown. Buddy Clifford didn't bat an eye. He told them policemen we had John Y. Brown in the back of the car. And that policeman, Clifford, thought, well, he just let us around. All this traffic, he didn't just let us around. They got us police escort, started opening gates. Roads that was closed off, they started opening all them. We took that limousine through there slicker than shit. And Clifford ends up going across these humps. And by that limousine hitting them humps, it's like something else smoky in the back. It's just boom, boom. You know, it just one right after the other. Jumping that limousine, we pull up next to the stadium there at Commonwealth Stadium in UK in Lexington. And we're getting ready to go to the ball game and everything. And they all looking for the governor to get out of the limousine. My Uncle Herb sitting in the back, he's afraid to get out. He just knows we're going to get arrested and everything. And I'll be damned, John Y. Brown didn't show up in his helicopter. But then by the time that all happened, we'd all got out and scattered, and it was forgot about. But I'll tell you, getting back to Dad and Clifford and coal business, hell, they owned the biggest river dock on the Big Sandy and Ohio River there at one time, Docks Creek. Anybody that's hog coal, you know, knows where Docks Creek is. It's over on 52 on at Canova there, I guess, maybe Pritchard's, one of them towns in West Virginia. And they had a tipple they had the old Princess Elkhorn tipple up at David they had leased. And then Dad owned the small, seems to me like it was a maybe seven car rail siding at Allen, Kentucky, over behind the old grade school. And they were strip mining down Lawrence County at Sitka, and they got in some boys that they just wasn't much now. There's slick some bitches at this one particular bank, and they got them into factoring some coal, and that's getting money for shit you didn't have. And anyway, they broke it off in them. Pieces of shit. And one good thing about Dad, he called them same pieces of shit out at his funeral. He had Mike Lyons up there giving that damn eulogy, and Mike named names, buddy, and Mike's the son of a Baptist preacher, and he didn't care to pin them right to the seat with fire and brimstone. Mike really laid it on him that day. He'd get on one fella, and if the fella would just get real indignant looking at him, and get up and grab his wife and drag out the door. There they went. Well, we know whose story that was about. Next story Mike could tell, well, here's another sumbitch get up. He'd walk out. Good for you, Dad. Good for you. And you got him there in the end. And we went up there to the cemetery and buried Dad at Emma, Kentucky, where he'd grown up, right above his parents' house. His mom and Dad had built the house in 1922. It's still standing. My Uncle Bill Cooley lives in it. We come off the hill from burying Dad. Dad had, before he died, he had provided for everybody to have a big meal there that come to the graveside service. And so we had a big meal served there in the yard. You know, everybody just going through line and getting something. You know, KFC and some tater salad or something. It don't matter what it was. It's just kind of cool. Dad had enough class in him, by God, to, well, thank y'all for coming to the funeral and burying my ass. Here's you some KFC. Dad had class. I'm going to probably make a few of these videos and post them on my YouTube channel. It's just been me bullshitting like this, and tell a few stories that I know, because nobody else knows them, and I'll be the one telling them to you. and kind of save a few of these for posterity, maybe. Or, you know, maybe the big giant space rock will hit us and bust this place all to hell. One or the other. Y'all have a good one. See you later.